Alrighty, good afternoon to you all. Happy Monday, February 17th, 2025. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Boy, did we have a wild week of severe weather this past week here. We had multiple severe weather events on Wednesday and on Saturday, allowing for multiple tornadoes, damaging wind events. We had our first destructive wind warning in Mississippi on Saturday night with 80-mile-an-hour winds plus, and then we also saw multiple confirmed tornadoes as well as fatalities and widespread heavy rainfall across Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia, causing horrific problems as far as flooding went. We've saw multiple rivers and streams in portions of eastern Kentucky and in Virginia and West Virginia that went over their banks, have flooded cities. Pikeville, Kentucky being an example on that. West Virginia really got hit hard as well. Here in western Kentucky, we had about 6.5 inches of rainfall, so our rivers and streams are at maximum. We also had about 4 inches of snow behind the system once it came through, kind of allowing for more water to accumulate. And then now we've got another snowstorm that'll be coming through this week. So we are not expecting any significant severe weather this week. We got like one day of severe weather tomorrow across Louisiana and Texas, far extreme Louisiana and Texas. We're really going to be more talking about the cold air this week and snow. We get a break from severe weather, really, guys, which will be exciting. We'll talk about the snow totals for the Ohio Valley and the Central Plains here in just a minute. But I want to go ahead and start out by saying my heart, my thoughts, and prayers go out to anybody that was impacted. I believe so far we are looking at 9 fatalities in Kentucky from the flooding, as well as 2 fatalities from our tornado event on Saturday. So I'll keep you guys posted on that and any ratings that we get, as always, on that. Also, I do want to mention this. We will be going live on YouTube starting tonight, guys. We will be live on YouTube and TikTok doing dual streams as we typically were doing before. I had to take a break for a little bit and get some things fixed and adjusted. So starting tonight, we will have our daily nightly live stream between 9 and 9:30 Central Time is when I usually like to start it. And then we'll be doing this daily. So, and we'll also be doing live coverage now as we have events happen. So I wanted to get that out there to you guys and let you guys know that for anybody that watches over here on YouTube. Anyways, we'll go ahead and dive into the weather here and talk about, in general, what we're going to be seeing here with our overall forecast and what we're going to be seeing here. We've got our upper level water vapor imagery here, basically kind of giving us our setup for our winter storm tomorrow. We're going to see a pretty decent winter storm, guys, over portions of Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, southern Illinois, Indiana, and portions of northern Tennessee down into really central and southern Missouri, really going to be the harder hit areas that get through this snowfall tomorrow and into Wednesday. You can see our cold air jet stream kind of starting to move in here. That cold air is going to be in place. We will have very cold temperatures that are going to be as well in place over this week for majority of the United States. This is going to be that one big Arctic air mass that we were talking about for a good amount of time over the last couple of weeks. It's finally going to be here. So moisture coming out of the south, cold air coming in out of the north, allowing for basically meet up point here. And we're going to see this change over to snow as we go through tomorrow and into tomorrow night. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea on what our upper level system is kind of looking like here. Another thing I want to show you guys, this is what we call our geocolor. This allows us to kind of see cloud cover, and then you have snowpack, still snow on the ground in portions of southern Kentucky and the Ohio Valley here. So we're just going to kind of add on to that snowfall. I don't expect major snowfall issues up in the northern Ohio Valley. It's really going to be more of a Kentucky, southern Ohio Valley, southern Illinois, Indiana, and then Missouri, Nebraska, and Kansas event as we go through the next couple of days here. Now, another thing that I want to show you guys, this is going to be our troughing pattern. Just kind of gives us an idea on what we're going to be seeing over the next couple days. I'll get to those snowfall totals here in just a quick second. You can really see our cold air mass. We got upper level low sitting up here over the Canada line, allowing for cold air to dive down here into portions of the United States. This is going to be a pretty significant cold air mass. You can also still see a northwesterly flow moving here out of portions of the West Pacific, allowing for our setup for this week to happen. I mentioned that southwesterly flow bringing in that precip, that potential snow event that we're going to have, or not potential, the snow event that we are going to have as we go through tomorrow. That low pressure system does in fact develop late tomorrow, and then bringing us that threat for a northwesterly to easterly, southeasterly flow, allowing for snow to develop in the Central Plains in the Ohio Valley. That's really going to be the biggest story this week. Could we get some ice and some snowfall back into the eastern portions of the Carolinas there? Yes, I do think we will see snow accumulations as far as North Carolina, South Carolina, and portions of Virginia and West Virginia go. We'll get to that here in just a second as well. But I want you guys to see something as we go towards Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here. You really start to see we kind of get into a different troughing pattern. We lose that cold air after Saturday and Sunday. We might have a low pressure system that develops as we go into Saturday and Sunday that could give us a little bit of an uptick in severe weather. Low and severe weather threat maybe on late Saturday afternoon into Sunday across the portions of the southern plains and maybe a little bit of western Dixie Alley there. But I want you guys to see something. We start to kind of have a little bit of a ridging pattern that tries to develop as we go closer to the first week of March. And I do think we'll have one more little bit of cold air mass that does come up here into portions of the upper Midwest and northern plains next week. But I want you guys to also see something. This isn't a long-term range forecasting, but looks to be we're going to start to kind of quiet things down. It looks to be we start to see a warming trend as we go towards next week. We're going to see some 60s, some 70s, and possibly some 80s for a lot of people, especially further down south as we go towards next week, which also sets up that stage for March. Could we start to see more robust severe weather events as we go into March? I do think it's going to be absolutely possible. We've been talking about this for a while. You can kind of see the jet stream. This is, over 300 hours out. Just kind of give you guys an idea of what we could see as we go into March. But we'll talk more about this in the next coming weeks as far as the overall idea of what we're going to be seeing for March. Now, I do want to get to really quickly and show you guys what we're going to be seeing snowfall-wise for the next 48 hours. And here's a HER model run. This kind of gives us an idea on when things are going to start. I'll get to those accumulations here in just a second. Snows could easily start as soon as midnight tonight across portions of eastern Colorado, getting into Kansas here, into southwestern portions of Nebraska, even seeing some snow showers potentially in elevated surfaces of northern Missouri into southern Missouri there. And the real event really gets going as our low pressure system develops over Kansas. We could see some ice accumulations back into northeastern and portions of eastern Oklahoma there into southwestern and northwestern Arkansas. But our snow event really going to be cranking out over Tuesday. This is going to be majority of the all day event here on Tuesday. We could see up to a foot of snow, guys, for some people in southern Missouri and portions of eastern Kansas there. So like Wichita over to like Joplin, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, I really think is going to be that corridor that we really see those heaviest snowfall bands set up anywhere from 1 to 2 inches an hour when you get that heavy banding that does set up. We start to see our low pressure system start to weaken as it goes east. This is going to be a pretty quick system moving into portions of either eastern Missouri there, northeastern Arkansas, into Tennessee, into Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. And we'll get to those totals here in just a second. Now, this is what the national blend model does. This is our average of all of our models. This is what I like to show for snowfall. This kind of gives us an idea of where we're going to see those heaviest snowfall events. And you can basically see, 1 to 3 inches of snow in a general consensus for portions of Nebraska, maybe some higher elevation areas there, seeing 3 to 5 inches. But the main corridor of heavy snowfall, guys, where we could see, anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snowfall is going to be central Kansas, eastern Kansas, and back into portions of central and southern Missouri, where we could even see a pocket of a foot of snowfall that potentially does develop there into eastern Kansas and portions of near the Springfield area. You can even see some accumulations up here into portions of northern Oklahoma and northern Arkansas there, getting up to maybe an inch of snow there in OKC. And then just outside of Tulsa there, we could be on that 4 to 8 inch snowfall line. So just something to be very, very mindful of as you are going about your day tomorrow. I don't think anybody's going to want to be on the roads for this. This is going to be a pretty messy commute. I do want to shift over to the Ohio Valley here and kind of give a rough estimate as well on our snowfall totals. And you can see once again, Kentucky, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, southern Ohio, but we can see that swath of 5 to 8 inches of snow where we do have winter storm watches in effect from all of these areas already. Even a 1 to 3 inch snowfall range can't be ruled out for portions of like Nashville, Tennessee, Clarksville, back up here into portions of northern Arkansas. And then even as you get into North Carolina, guys, look at that. 1 to 3 to 5 inches of snowfall. And some of the models are even hinting at this storm pocketing, 5 to 8 inches of snowfall for like Virginia Beach over into East Virginia there. So this is going to be a pretty impactful event over the next 48 to 72 hours. I want you guys to be weather aware for this. If you have to drive, be very mindful of this. We've had a lot of flooding in all of these areas. So seeing more snowfall on top of that flooding is going to cause more flooding. That snow is going to have to melt at some point. So I do expect creeks, streams, and rivers to continue to rise over the next couple of days, especially as that snowpack does melt as we get towards the end of this week. Now the timing as well for the Ohio Valley, and we get to this for you guys so you guys can get a rough estimate on this. This should start early Wednesday morning, late tomorrow night, I would say. So late Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning, we'll see a kind of rough band of snow showers set up maybe even as soon as tomorrow midday. But then the main event moves in here into Kentucky, southern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and into West Virginia and Tennessee, maybe even into portions of northern Mississippi and Alabama, seeing some light snow showers up there. So not by all a big ridiculous, 1.5 to 2 feet of snowfall event, but this is just enough for the Ohio Valley and Ozarks that we see a pretty significant event here. So just be mindful if you're out and about. There will be some blowing snow around. That cold air will end up coming in behind our system. Another thing I want to show you guys here is going to be that cold air. Once this system does move in, we do in fact have what we call a northwesterly flow that basically sets up. We're going to have a high pressure to the north, allowing for all of this cold Canadian air to kind of sit down and move down over majority of the United States. There's your 32-degree temperature line as we go into Wednesday here. So very cold air. I expect below zero temperatures for a lot of people, single-digit temperatures for a lot of people. And then this will basically work its way east as we go towards Sunday. Might see one more little clipper system here potentially as we go through the next couple of days here as we get towards Saturday and Sunday, but then that would be gone. And then pretty much as we go towards the next week, guys, going to be seeing a little bit of a warming trend, maybe another little snowstorm in the Midwest again, but that's a little bit far out to kind of be uncertain about. One more thing I do want to show you guys is going to be those temperature anomalies. This gives us an idea of where above average or below average are you going to be at. And this is something we've been talking about for a while, is that below average temperature trend. This is going to be through this week, guys. Look at these below average temperatures, even 40 and 50 degrees below average for portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, portions of western Missouri there in western Iowa. Outside of that, most people are going to be 20 to 25 degrees below average. So that's typically if you average like 30 degrees for the month of February, subtract 25 to 20 degrees, you're sitting basically at 0. So just something to be mindful of. If you do have to go out, and these wind chills will also be an issue. We will have wind, we'll have blowing snow around. So I do think some snow drifting will also be possible. But like I said, as we go through the end of this week and into next week, that does clear out, and we do start a warming trend again, a pretty big warming trend as we go toward the following week and last week of February. So other than that, guys, once again, we'll have a live stream tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time, between 9 and 9:30ish. But other than that, if you guys will leave a like on the video and comment at the bottom if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next one.